Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Last night, the Astros won a tight game behind a complete game shutout by Lucas Harrell. Tonight, Dallas Keuchel gets his third career start. The Astros go for another series win at home. The series finale between the Astros and Padres is next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, it's the finale of this 10-game homestand. The Astros take on the San Diego Padres. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies, the longest homestand of the year. The Astros are 5-4 so far, JD.
Astros hitting at just .245 on this homestand for batting average, but they've been hitting the ball out of the ballpark with regularity. Pretty impressive show by the hitters so far on this homestand. 9 games, 14 bombs. J.D. Martinez has gotten hot with 3. Brian Bixler coming off the bench, getting a couple of starts. He's chipped in with a couple. 9 others have gone deep on this homestand. The Astros now with 71 for the season. That's 9th best in the National League. Last year, they hit 95 all year, finished second to last in the league in home runs. So much better in the power department here in 2012.
As a result, their home record is looking pretty good. Now Dallas Keuchel tries to continue the excellent run of mound work on this homestand as well. Up against the San Diego Padres and Conroe native Andrew Cashner next.
Brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Those are the friendly confines of Minute Maid Park, and they have been this year. The Astros get set to take on San Diego in the fourth and final game of this series with 23 home victories. No team in all of baseball has won more than 24. The Rangers, Giants, and Dodgers. No team in the Central Division has won more than the same 23 the Astros have. They have been good at home. They are taking the field, hoping to continue that before they hit the road tomorrow. Now to the booth. Here's Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg. And they will be in Chicago tomorrow afternoon to open a road trip, which will then take them on to Pittsburgh. So the Astros hoping to get this final game before heading out after the game tonight for their first trip to Wrigley Field. They've been to U.S. Cellular in Chicago. Dallas Keuchel is warming up, and we'll be checking the starting lineup for Bud Black's San Diego Padres, brought to you by Hyundai. It's Chris Denorfia leading off. He's in center field tonight. Logan Forsythe is at second base. Batting third is the third baseman, Chase Headley. The cleanup man is left fielder Carlos Quentin. With Jesus Guzman in right field, Yonder Alonso at first base, Everett Cabrera at shortstop, Nick Hundley the catcher, Andrew Cashner the pitcher.
Dallas Keuchel up from AAA has made 2 big league starts and been awfully darn good, hadn't he? 1-0, .29 ERA. It was 5 innings of 1-run baseball against the Rangers, and you're like, hey, that's really good. And then next time out, really, really good. A complete game in just his second major league start in beating the Indians 8-1. He went the distance, allowed just 6 hits and 1 run. Very impressive start to his career. Defensively, it's Martinez, Schaefer, and Bogusevic in the outfield. Third to first, we go Johnson, Lowry, the newcomer Scott Moore, and Carlos Lee at first base. Jason Castro behind the plate. He'll be calling for fastball, curveball, cut fastball, and changeup from Dallas Keuchel. Moore, a utility man, a guy who can play all over the field.
He said he's not played much second base this year. He has started 1 game at second. He's played in 3 games at that position at Oklahoma City, but he's ready to go now with Chris Denorfia stepping up. Keuchel facing a .282 hitter in Denorfia with 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. Chris 1 for 5 in this series with an RBI. And he misses. There's ball 1 with Darryl Cousins, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes. Those are the numbers for Denorfia. Denorfia, 31 years old, from Bristol, Connecticut. Takes that one. It's a strike, and that evens it at a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Keuchel. Bud Norris flying ahead of the Astros to Chicago. He'll start tomorrow. Cousins, Culpa, Rayburn, and Wolf, the umpires. That's in tight, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count for the Padres. They'll be traveling to Colorado after this one. Padres on a 10-game road trip, 1 of 3 for them. They're a traveling club during this stretch. It's 2-2.
And Dallas Keuchel's entire game is based on that fastball command of the outside corner. He'll go sinker away, change up away, throw the cutter in. Lives on the edges.
Sounds like a downhill skier. Dallas from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and his father got a chance to see his major league debut in Dallas, driving down to witness a very fine effort. Now he opens this one with a strikeout looking.
Well, Denorfia must have been guessing off-speed pitch, because you could see a little jab at the end as he realized that ball was in the zone, but he just couldn't get it started. Ball right over the heart of the plate.
Logan Forsythe, the second baseman, comes up with a batting average of .296.
Denorfia's in the dugout tearing up the scouting report right now. Said he was going to throw me a changeup there.
That's in for strike 1 on Forsythe, who has a .356 on base average. And he's gone 4 for 13 in this series to get to those numbers for the year. He was on the 60-day disabled list, a left foot fracture. It's 1-ball, 1-strike to Forsythe from Memphis, Tennessee, and the University of Arkansas, where he was a teammate of Dallas Keuchel. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Think they've been firing text messages back and forth?
They probably have. We were reading about last night's starting pitchers, and they really didn't communicate yesterday. Both pitched extremely well, Clayton Richard and Lucas Harrell. And Richard said after the game, I'll hear it from him today. Ground ball to third. Chris Johnson in.
Yeah.
Whoa, so close to being safe, but it's 2 outs.
Forsythe really busting it down the line, not taking anything for granted, and CJ's a little difficulty unloading.
That was a whisker.
A little bobble there as he made the transfer, had to reset his feet, and it almost cost him.
Oh, so close. Now it's Headley. Chase looking at ball one. 267 with 7 homers, 37 runs batted in for Chase. He has 2 hits and 10 at-bats, a couple of RBIs in this series. He was the valedictorian of his high school class. Went on to the University of Tennessee. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to the 28-year-old third baseman. First came to the big leagues in 08 with the Padres. Well, briefly in 07, 18 at-bats. That one's foul back, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Padres have won 7 of their last 10 here at Minute Maid Park.
And partially because the Astros have such a young team, but a lot of it is just because of Keuchel's makeup. Watching him pitch these first 2 starts, it looks like he's been in the league 10 years. Very comfortable out there.
He sure has been. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He told me after that debut in Dallas that he had been more nervous for his last couple of AAA starts for Oklahoma City than he was for that game. That's a tough place to pitch. Broken bat, line drive hit to left field. Headley's aboard with 2 outs in the inning. Here's a look at the starting pitching, starting with Keuchel's major league debut. 5-3, 70 innings, only 49 hits, and a 2.06 ERA.
Been a very impressive run, and if they can obviously keep this up, it's going to be a very nice second half around here.
2 complete games in the last 5 by Keuchel and Harrell. That is a very impressive run, and the Astros weren't really scoring, or they might have been a lot better off in the win column during that period of time. Kansas City pitched well against them. Carlos Quentin is the batter. He shoots a line drive to right field. Bogusevic, excellent jump for out number 3. No runs, a hit, and a man stranded, no score. Lineup for Brad Mills brought to you by Hyundai. They are ready to root. It's Jordan Schaefer in center field, Jed Lowry shortstop, Carlos Lee first base, Brian Bogusevic right field, Chris Johnson third base, Jason Castro catcher, J.D. Martinez left field, Scott Moore second base, Dallas Keuchel pitcher.
Andrew Cashner for the Padres tonight from Conroe. He was the 19th overall pick of the Cubs in 2008. 5-9 career record. He was in the bullpen. He had made one start, and then they sent him down to Double-A to get stretched out and make this transition to the rotation. Came over in January in the Rizzo deal with the Cubs, and he can flat out bring it.
A bunch of people from Conroe have come to watch him tonight. There's ball one to Jordan Schaefer. 239 for Jordan, 3 homers. He's driven in 17. He's 2 for 8 in this series. And he can average 98 plus on his fastball. That has been his average this year, 98.8 according to Fangraphs. 2 balls, no strikes.
It'll be interesting to see what he does as a starter. I'm guessing he's not going to average 98, but he can certainly dial it up and get there. Heck, he can get to triple digits on occasion.
25 years old.
Hard slider and a changeup to go along with that good gas. Here's the change.
3-1. And he's happy that he's been in the state of Texas for a while now because he had 3 starts for San Antonio prior to this one, JD.
3 dominant starts down there as he got ready. And that's the beauty of having that good fastball. Even in a fastball count, he was able to throw it right by Schaefer. Interesting, his changeup there was clocked at 87. That's kind of where Keuchel's fastball lives.
Yeah.
So fun matchup. The contrast in these 2 starting pitchers.
Second baseman Forsythe over to make the first play for Cashner. Cashner's last start was Saturday at Midland. 6 shutout innings.
Now let's take a look at the Padres defensively. Denorfia gets a start in center field the first time this year. He's flanked by Guzman and Quinton. Infield of Headley, Cabrera, Forsythe, and Yonder Alonso. Nick Hundley's the catcher.
Jed Lowry's the batter. Jed was pretty pleased with his first 2 at-bats last night. Hit the ball squarely, but caught by the center fielder and the right fielder the first 2 times up. 266, 14 homers, 33 runs batted in. Then he was called out on strikes his 3rd time up. Call he was not at all happy about. There's ball 1 to Lowry. Jed 3 for 12 in this series with a long ball. Just an outstanding season underway for Lowry. And the changeup catches the edge. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The Cashner family has owned and operated a funeral home in Conroe. Very well respected in that community. A lot of Cashner supporters have come to the game tonight. That's roped to right field, but it'll hang up for Guzman. 2 outs. Cam Heathcott has made the trip in from Conroe. Got a call from Don today telling me about the Cashner family's reputation. And Andrew is the 19th player drafted in 08. Came from Conroe and then went to Angelina Junior College before he went to TCU.
Are they all hard throwers? The whole Cashner family?
Not sure about that. Probably so. 291 for Carlos Lee, 5 homers, 29 runs batted in.
Imagine that, a hard throwing right-hander from Texas that wears number 34. It's amazing how often that happens.
Carlos is 1 for 12 in this series. That hit was a homer. Takes a look at ball 2. Very odd game for the Astros last night. And High Heat Stats did some research on how odd it really was. It was only the 2nd time in baseball history that the number 8 and 9 hitters had 2 plate appearances in a 9-inning game.
The Padres faced only 1 over the minimum.
That's right.
Astros had 2 hits, 1 erased on a double play, and then the Downs home run. Obviously, the Astros were winning, so they didn't have to bat in the 9th. Yeah, that is unbelievably rare.
It's the smallest number of hitters who can go to the plate in a winning game, regulation 9-inning game. 25 batters. First win with 2 hits or less since September of 06 for the Astros against the Mets. It's 3-2, so very, very unusual because they had 1 other hit, Chris Johnson, or J.D. Martinez in the 2nd, but he was erased on a double play ball hit by Chris Johnson, other than the Downs homer in the 3rd. Lee strikes out, and 18 straight were retired at the end of the game. Now the start of the game goes well for Cashner, and it's 0-0.
July 6th through the 8th here at Minute Maid Park. On Saturday before the 3:05 game, 10,000 fans will receive a Mike Scott Greatest Moments bobblehead courtesy of Grand Slam for Youth Baseball. The bobblehead commemorates Scott's 1986 no-hitter to clinch the NL West Championship. Buy tickets at Astros.com. Bill?
Thank you, Patty. We look forward to that one on Saturday the 7th. And that's right up to the All-Star break. That's the next to last game before the break. Dallas Keuchel in a 0-0 game. Works to Jesus Guzman opening the second inning here. And he swings at it for strike one. Guzman has good power. He has 2 homers this year, 26 runs batted in. So really has not displayed that power in 171 at bats. He has it. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Guzman. Keuchel was 5-4 at Oklahoma City with a 4.26 ERA there for the Red Hawks. It's out to second base. Scott Moore takes care of it. That's what he said before the game. Just make the routine plays, right? He just hasn't played a whole lot at that position. He's played mostly first and third, a little outfield for Oklahoma City.
Earlier in his career, he played a little more second base. It was never his primary position. He signed as a shortstop out of high school and was quickly moved to third base. That's where he's played the most throughout his minor league career. And he's played a number of games at second. He can play the outfield.
Yonder Alonso looks at ball one. 258, 2 homers, 18 runs batted in for Alonso. Padres are hoping that he can be that power threat also in their lineup. That's one reason they traded for him over the winter. And he rips a line drive to right field. Hit number 2 for San Diego. Brings up Cabrera. Alonso now 3 for 5 in this series.
Well, they moved Rizzo, and that allowed him to get Cashner, who's got tremendous upside. And so then they make the deal with the Reds to bring Alonso in to fill the void at first base. And he's been one of the better hitting prospects in the last couple of years or so. So, they got some high ceiling young players. There's another one here, Cabrera. Pretty talented young guy.
Really is. 260, 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. Good defensive player. Speedy.
Saw him a couple of years ago when he was a Rule 5 pick out of A-ball, and they had to keep him on the roster all year. He impressed us with his athleticism.
He's from Nicaragua. Taking strike one. He had only 8 at bats last year with the big league club. Played a lot more than that in 09. But last year he had a broken bone in his right hand and a left shoulder injury. He began his career in the Colorado organization. CJ in tight at third. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Keuchel. The Astros now are in a 6-man starting rotation. They're only going to stay with that through the All-Star break. So giving their starting pitchers 1 extra day of rest. That is something they have not done to this point. They have gone with 4 starters when they've had days off this year.
I guarantee if they all keep pitching like this, they'll rethink that. It's like as long as you guys keep throwing shutdown games, nobody's leaving that rotation. The Astros come home after the road trip for 3 with the Brewers prior to the break. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 6, 7, and 8, I believe.
You got it, pal. By the way, tonight ends the online voting for the All-Stars at midnight tonight, I believe. 3 balls and a strike. Brad Mills said, well, it's only short term on this 6-man rotation. And Jose Altuve is already lobbying to get back in that lineup. But Brad Mills today said, well, it might be maybe Monday. Pittsburgh, he said. Last night didn't look like he was progressing quite as much as he had the day before, so we're going to be cautious with this. He had thought maybe Saturday he would return. There's the walk to Cabrera. 2 men on now for Hundley.
It's hard to trust those young players because they're so eager to get in there. So you almost got to, when they tell you they're 100%, then you let's wait another 3 days after that.
But he had a big smile on his face around the batting cage, was telling Joe Patino, oh yeah, I'm feeling great. I'll be ready. I'll be ready for Chicago. Hundley with a 168 average, has 3 homers. He's driven in 22. He was the strikeout victim to end the game last night with the bases loaded, as Lucas Harrell got his first professional complete game and won it 1-0. Beautiful game. Foul for strike 1, but that final pitch, Hundley was not happy with himself at chasing that one out of the zone.
I'm guessing he's done a fair bit of chasing this year with that .168 batting average.
Yeah, the looks of that. What a game for Lucas Harrell, a 6-hitter, 110 pitches, walking 4, fanning 7. All the hits were singles. Brett Myers was not available. Oh, nice change of speeds. 0-2 to Hundley. Cashner's on deck.
If you're a fan of pitching, this is a good night because you get to watch a power arm in Cashner and see how he goes about it. And then you get to watch a finesse guy, the crafty left-hander Keuchel, do his thing.
10% of the time, Nick Hundley has grounded into a double play when there has been an opportunity for him to do that.
Hitters probably don't view it as an opportunity.
No, that's not really the way they view it. Struck him out. Well, he didn't hit into a double play.
Yeah. Lucas Harrell again with another dynamic performance, working both sides of the plate effectively with the fastball, snapping off some good breaking pitches. Always at the ready too. Man, he just got the ball and said, let's go boys, let's get it on. And then the big play from J.D. Martinez. You talk about a ball game. Beautiful pitch, beautifully pitched by both sides. A solo home run and a little 9th inning drama. That's all you need.
Quickest game in the National League this year. Now Cashner takes strike 1. Cashner was working in relief for the Padres. He has 27 relief appearances this year, 1 start. They wanted to send him down, and he made those 3 starts JD talked about. He wanted to work on his fastball command, his hitting, and stopping the running game in the minor leagues. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the hitting comes into play for him with 2 men on and 2 outs. Now it's 2 balls and a strike. Cashner last year was on the disabled list with a rotator cuff strain. That limited him to only 7 games with the Cubs and a few more in the minors. He was on the 60-day DL. Broke in with the Cubs in 2010 and worked 53 times for them that year. Ground ball shortstop. Lowry to his right. Makes the throw, and the stretch by Lee just nips Cashner to end the Padres' second. It's no runs, 1 hit, 2 men stranded. Couple of close plays in this game at first. No score.
time. It's later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Wow, that's a big hot dog that guy's eating.
That's large. It might be extra large.
He needs to borrow a Miller Lite and wash that down a little bit.
Yes, he does. He's looking pretty parched right now. Woody Williams is next door in the Padres television booth. We haven't seen Woody for a while. He pitched for both these clubs. Lives here in the Houston area. There's Woody.
He looked at me and
what a great guy.
I couldn't do it anymore.
No, because I know you and Josh were talking down there.
That's right.
We're going to listen to
Good
Mark
long
Grant.
major league career.
But you look like you're in great shape.
Let's just
What
let
are you doing these days?
Mark
Looks like
Grant
he's in
take
great
it.
shape.
Being a dad and a husband. And
Mark,
just,
go ahead.
spending
Being a
time
dad and a
with my
husband,
family
and
little
he's
coaching
hanging out with his
baseball.
family.
You want to get back in
Enjoying
football,
life.
possibly?
Yeah.
Maybe later on down the road?
Maybe at some point,
He's
but
doing
not
some
right now.
coaching,
It's
isn't he,
time.
of his
It's not
kids,
right
maybe?
for me.
I believe so.
And later on.
It sounds good anyway. No score, bottom of the second inning. And it's Brian Bogusevic. Bogey came off the bench last night. 229, 5 homers, 18 runs batted in for Brian, 1 for 7 in this series. And he came in to play right field after the 6th inning last night. Third baseman Headley well off the line, even with the base. Cashner missing, and it's ball 1. So this conversion from reliever to starter can't take place overnight. You need a little time to stretch it out. Changeup is hit on the ground, and there's Alonso tossing. Cashner there, 1 out.
Yeah, you don't want to run him out there and just get 3 innings out of him. So you send him down to the minor leagues, get some starts under his belt, build up the arm strength. And now he's ready to go. He can stretch it out. This big fella, Cashner's allowed 3 home runs this year. It allowed in his entire minor league career just 3 home runs, 196 innings of minor league baseball, 3 home runs allowed.
That is ridiculous. Well, in those 3 minor league starts, he worked 14 out of 3rd innings. He walked 3 and fanned 22. Chris Johnson is next.
Yeah, those double-A hitters, they're like, you're ready, you're good, go ahead, go back to the big leagues.
Get out of here.
We don't get paid enough to face this.
The Midland Rockhounds ran up against Andrew Cashner last time out, and he shut them out for 6. Strike 1 for CJ, who's driven in 34. Cashner's stuff looks really good tonight, JD.
Yeah. He's got great stuff. Just 25 years of age, poised, and 1 fine big league career.
Yeah. 1 and 2. Chris Johnson 3 for 11 in this series. He's had an outstanding homestand, 382 average, 1 homer, 7 runs batted in for CJ. Last night they snapped his 7-game hitting streak, but he's driven in 7 in his last 5 games.
The beautiful thing about pitching, you know, the Astro hitters absolutely got dominated last night, completely shut down.
Yeah.
They were 2 swings away from going into the 9th inning, staring down the barrel of perhaps another perfect game being pitched against them. But because of Harrell's efforts and the heroics by Downs and Martinez, they get out at the Dodge with a 1-0 win.
Crazy. Ground ball to second. Forsythe, 2 outs. So a couple of weeks ago, they had the perfect game pitched against them, as you indicated, from Matt Cain in San Francisco. Last night, Downs homer, 1 of 2 hits, and they send 1 over the minimum to the plate in 8 innings and win the game.
Yeah. Padre pitchers threw 3 pitches from the stretch last night. CJ bounced into that double play ball with a 1-1 count. The only time Padres, it was Richard went, the starter went 7, and the only time they were in the stretch all night long.
Jason Castro, 255 with 2 homers, has 16 driven in. Ball 1.
Now, you mentioned the second time in baseball history where the 8 9-hole hitters only batted twice. What's do you know the other game? Did they?
The 92 Braves. Can't give you the lineup though. Well, you could remember that.
Because I looked at the Koufax perfect game, and Bob Henley pitched a 1-hitter against him.
Oh, that's right.
That one just missed.
Oh.
The 8-hole hitter had 3 plate appearances in that game.
Okay. 313 for Castro in the month of June. And Jason has really been getting in some good swings now. And it just seems like he's getting more and more into the season. He had those 4 straight starts, and that was by design from Brad Mills. And Chris Snyder got the call last night. So now they'll back off Jason a little bit. 6 for 19 on this homestand. And he takes a 4-pitch walk. And that's the one thing that's been a constant for him, his eye. He's worked some deep counts, but now just getting better results with the swing.
Yeah, I like the swing, and I like his approach at the plate. He's pretty balanced in the batter's box. He usually finds himself up there in a hitter's count because he is patient and has that good eye. We've seen a lot of his plate appearances lately where he's standing up there 2-0, 3-1.
J.D. Martinez with 10 homers, 45 runs batted in. Takes ball 1 at 98. That brought Hundley out for some reason. Not sure what this could all be about right here, JD.
I don't know. Maybe he just saw something. Maybe he saw a quizzical look from Cashner and just wanted to go out and check in with him. Maybe Cashner feels like he's getting squeezed a little bit.
Wondered about that.
Hundley's coming out and say, hey, don't worry about Darryl. He's been back there for about 40 years. Let me work with him. You just worry about throwing it.
Yeah. Well, he blistered that one in at 97. Got a swing and a miss. You think maybe he could have told him, hey, don't be trying to clip corners here with your stuff. Come right at these guys.
You might have. And if you're the pitcher, you say, have you looked at our offensive stats lately? I give up a bomb here. We're losing, pal. Get back there and sit on the corner.
That's a line shot to right field. Guzman back. And it's out number 3. And it's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. And after 2, no score.
Time now to introduce you to our progressive fan of the game, and this lady really needs no introduction, and she was nominated by all the people on Twitter to be fan of the game, Allison Footer, because it is her last official night, last official game as a Houston Astro diva.
Yes, it's my last game, Patty. I am going to be around, but I am going back to MLB.com, which, as you know, I worked there for a very long time, and I'm going to go back on a more national capacity, so I'll be a national correspondent, and I will be based out of Houston. I'll be working largely from here, but I'll be more covering all 30 teams with social media and some videos and some online shows, so it should be pretty exciting.
So you're not really totally going away. I mean, your fans will still be able to find you, follow you. We won't totally not see you.
Right. No, I'll be around, and I'll definitely be online, and I'll still have my Twitter handle and my Facebook page and my blog, and so hopefully people will continue to follow along, even though I will be doing a lot of non-Astros coverage.
Well, we will definitely miss you, but you've been with the club a long time. You've been with Major League Baseball before. When you started in '97 with the Astros, is that correct?
Yes, '97 with the Astros. Went to MLB.com in 2001 and worked there through June of 2009, and then came back to the Astros in their social media role.
And looking back through all those as an Astro employee and working for this team, what has been kind of the highlight for you, the things that you've covered, the things that you've seen? What stands out?
Well, I mean, as far as being an employee, so that'd be like the first 4 years and the last 3 years. And I think that the first couple of years that you're in baseball, I don't think anything really can top that, because the Astros won the division my first 3 years here, so I didn't know anything else but the winning until 2000 when everything kind of fell apart. But I would say that I remember my first opening day like it was yesterday, and things like that. Now, as a reporter, I mean, there's nothing better than the night that the Astros won the pennant in St. Louis in 2005, so that will always be probably the top moment ever.
And I know you're tweeting, you're blogging, your fans are totally in touch with you, but is there anything you want to say out there? You also have a TV audience. Anything you want to say to them?
Well, I just want to thank people, I mean, for really, social media doesn't work if you don't have anybody on the other end talking back to you and interacting and arguing and yelling at you and laughing with you. So everybody's been really great, and I've heard so much feedback in the last few days. And I would like to someday come to a game and sit in the stands and bring my own food, my own water, and drink a $5 beer.
All right, I think you can do that. Now, I know the Astros gave you an authentic 97 jersey from when you started here. I'm sure that means a lot to you, and I'm sure it's a big deal, but I don't know if it tops the Progressive Fan of the Game bag that I'm going to present to you now.
I'm so excited, and I think my dad's watching, and Dad, you're going to get this when I get home, so everybody wins today.
All right, well, we don't win because we're losing you, but really on behalf of all of us, we've enjoyed it over the years, and we know you're not going to be a stranger, but thanks for all that you've done and all your time with us.
Thank you, Patty, and now everybody knows that we are not actually the same person. Two different people.
Straight hair, curly hair. After all these years, here it is. Okay. Guys.
We got it. Thank you.
We wish Allison well in her new endeavors.
We do, and we get to see her occasionally. She'll still live here, so that's great.
Been a great friend over the years.
Yep. She's been good for the game. Forsythe lined out to third.
And she was the inspiration for that character in that new Pixar movie, Brave.
Was she
seen the
really?
trailers for that?
Nope, haven't seen the trailers.
Oh, wait, yeah. Check it out when you see the ads for it. You're going,
right.
That's Footer.
Okay. Chase Headley singled to left earlier. Keuchel missing there. Falls behind him, 2 balls, no strikes. Padres out hit the Astros last night 6-2. And they got excellent pitching from Clayton Richard. That's hit high to left field, and that's headed for the seats in the Landry's Crawford boxes. Bangs off the wall for a home run for Headley, number 8 of the year. And Headley gets his 38th run batted in to give the Padres a 1-0 lead. They're dead last in long balls. That's only their 39th of the year.
Headley is their club leader. They've got to be the only team in baseball that doesn't have a 10 home run man.
Guessing, yeah.
Well, that's a byproduct of Dallas's approach. He attacks the strike zone, throws a lot of strikes. He's a fly ball pitcher. Solo home runs usually don't beat you.
It only counts for one.
Don't tell that to Clayton Richard.
Exactly. Headley's 2 for 2. Now it's Quentin looking at ball 1. He lined to right field earlier. Quentin had the game-winning RBI double in the 10th inning Monday here. Padres winning that one 8-7. And the Astros took the Tuesday game 5-3 and won last night 1-0. So the Astros thereby can win a 4-game series for the first time this year if they get this one tonight. 2 balls, no strikes. They'll have a repeat 4-game series against each other in San Diego in July. Astros starting pitchers on this homestand have had 8 quality starts in 9 games.
Well, Dallas is a little out of sync right now with his delivery. He's kind of drifting towards first base, a little wobbly over the rubber. Stay a little taller and drive that ball downhill.
That's a quality pitch, and it's 3-1. By rearranging the rotation, Bud Norris pitching tomorrow, and this would have been his night to pitch on 4 days rest as well as Dallas's. This splits up the left-handers in the rotation. That's a walk with 2 outs to Quentin. Second walk of the game for Keuchel. So Norris goes tomorrow to prevent 3 straight left-handed starters from being in the rotation for Doug Brocail. Then it's Jay Happ Saturday, Wandy Rodriguez Sunday, and then on to Pittsburgh. Visit by Castro, and now it's Guzman. He grounded out to second in the second inning. Pretty good looking Houston starting rotation lately, though, and when the Astros get quality work at home, they're 21-8 with quality starts in their own ballpark. That's ball one. Cubs are off today, by the way, so they'll be well rested for the 1:20 start tomorrow.
Somebody will.
Yeah.
Well, they need to rest up. They got shellacked yesterday by the Mets, 17-1.
Yeah, Terry Collins kind of put it out there publicly for his club. Something about it's time to turn this around now, and they certainly did in a resounding way.
You should say that every day. Dallas scuffling with his command here a little bit. He's thrown 48 pitches, 23 balls, 25 strikes. Rockets took Jeremy Lamb.
Okay.
Their first pick in the NBA draft. He's a guard from Connecticut.
So they haven't made any trades yet today?
I don't know.
Bouncer third, Chris Johnson with the throw over to Carlos Lee to make it a Headley home run. 1 run, 1 hit, and a man left, and a 1-0 Padre lead.
Brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. One of the greatest moments of all time was on this date in 2007 when Craig Biggio gets career hit number 3,000, going 5 for 6 in an 8-5 win over the Rockies. Oh, by the way, Carlos Lee won that game with a walk-off grand slam. Nobody remembered that. But that was the great moment, Craig Biggio, and there it is. Trying for a patented double. He didn't quite make it, but he wanted a double. That was the plan all along, and he thought he had a shot.
Center fielder didn't read the script.
5 years ago, Greg. Wow. Now Scott Moore, first plate appearance as an Astro, takes strike one. Scott was hitting well at AAA Oklahoma City. 318, 10 homers, 54 runs batted in, a .410 on base percentage. First at bat in the majors since July of 2010. That one moves him back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Scott's 28. He was a first round pick, as JD mentioned, by Detroit in 2002. He was the 8th player drafted that year. Grew up in Long Beach, California. Went to Cypress High School. And Cashner throws ball 2 to him.
Sweet swinging left-handed hitting shortstop. Made a bunch of errors early in his minor league career. Got moved to third base. And been a long journey for him.
Oh, that's a wicked changeup.
That speaks to the the uncertainty of the draft. 8th overall pick in the country, and here he is at 28 years of age. He's had 80 major league games under his belt.
Oh, that's a fastball at 98 for a strikeout. Number 2. He is dealing tonight.
Better dial it up, boys.
Yes. He came to pitch. Dallas Keuchel is 0 for 3 as a major league hitter. Padre pitchers had retired 20 Astros in a row until the walk to Jason Castro last inning. That's strike 1. Keuchel came out with the club's first complete game of the year last time. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, somebody's got to come out with that factoid, don't they? Somebody's got to be grinding away, finding the last time the team had 2 complete games, and they were both by rookies, was in 1947.
Well, that's a thought. I hadn't thought about that. 3 strikeouts for Cashner.
See, now if I were at Dallas, I would have just told Darryl Cousins, I'm going to just take this at bat off. Just call me out, and I'm going to go sit down. Just for fear one got away from him and he stuck it in my ribs.
Well, that makes some sense.
A new rule: you can pass. You can pass your at bat.
Jordan Schaefer worked the count full and grounded out first time.
Like password, right? When Alan Ludden used to. Elizabeth Montgomery, Betty White, play or pass? I'm going to pass.
Yeah. There could be a lot of that if you got a chance to pass against Cashner.
The password is gas.
It's 2 balls, no strikes. And of course, one question will be his staying power for his first start in a while in the big leagues after being in the minors for 3 starts.
I don't think it should be a factor.
Not the way he's going right now.
I mean, this stuff plays no matter who the hitters are. This kind of arm.
2 balls, 1 strike. Padres have had 13 different starting pitchers. It's 3-1.
It's just a matter of staying healthy for this kid. And think about him out there in that big ballpark at Petco.
Oh, yeah. He could be another Matt Latos, JD. 3-2. Might be better than Matt Latos.
I mean, he got a little anger going too. He got a little attitude out there.
Bit of an edge to him.
Yeah, seems to.
Swagger. Nothing wrong with that. And he gets a strikeout. He strikes out the side in the 3rd inning. Got 3 no-hit innings under his belt and a 1-0 lead. Padres lead it 1-0, and after 3, it's time for a little AT&T trivia, JD.
All right, bring it on.
Let's try you on this one. Who are the only 2 Padres relievers to lead the NL in saves twice? Are we going with Trevor Hoffman and Raleigh Fingers?
Sure. I was going to go with Hoffman.
Okay. Well, maybe you have a different choice.
No, I didn't have a second thought.
Let's give it some time. Let's kick it around for a while.
Let's massage it a little bit, running up the flagpole.
Yonder Alonso singled to right field earlier. There's ball 1. We'll let it marinate.
Well, Yogi said these greens are tough to putt on now that they've been marinated.
He did say that, didn't he? 2 balls, no strikes. Yankees 2, White Sox 1. They've played 6 at Yankee Stadium. Alejandro De Aza hit his 5th for the Sox. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Goose was a Padre for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it could be Goose Gossage. Right. Atlanta 2, Arizona 0. That's the debut of Trevor Bauer for Arizona. He went 4. Jair Jurgens is out pitching him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bauer is out of that game, and we'll check the box to let you know. Yep, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs in his major league debut. He was drafted only a year ago from UCLA.
Yeah, he's the kid with all the unique exercises he does, and he plays like long toss from foul pole to foul pole.
Uh-oh. Wow. Some serious arm strength. Carlos repositioning himself over more toward the line, and there's a foul ball by Alonso. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes for Dallas Keuchel. It's Cleveland 4, Baltimore 2. They've played 6 in Baltimore. Johnny Damon hit his 4th. Shin-Soo Choo number 7 for the Tribe. J.J. Hardy belted number 12 for the O's. Been out for a while with an injury. That's grounded to Carlos. He was positioned perfectly. Going out. All right, AT&T trivia about those Padre relievers to lead the NL in saves twice. Who were they? Trevor Hoffman, Raleigh Fingers.
Nailed it, Brownie.
Hey, for once.
All over.
Trevor Hoffman, 601. Bud Black had 11 saves, but he was a starter.
Yeah.
For a long time.
His buddy closing out games. I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember.
Early in his career or late in his career?
Don't recall.
Must have been early.
I don't think he was ever a full-time closer.
No.
But good pitcher. I think maybe about a 500 record. But somebody was saying that his nickname was Ice or Iceman or something like that when he was at Kansas City. He was just such a cool customer and just thought his way through games so very well. Cabrera the batter. Fly ball center field. Schaefer in. 2 outs. He just really is very intelligent in his approach, and that has to help those young guys on the Padres staff a little bit.
Guy with his experience in the manager's seat.
Well, the Padres have had some kind of stability. He's been there 6 years. And Bruce Bochy was there about 11 before that.
Buddy's daughter's a gymnast.
So
University of Maryland.
Uneven parallel bars.
Yeah. It's an oxymoron, isn't it? It'll be uneven and parallel at the same time. Huh? Been struggling with that for 2 days.
Popped up to CJ in the middle of the 4th inning. It's 1-0 San Diego.
right now, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo. And by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. Now back to the booth where we got another pitcher's duel going. Here's Brownie and JD.
Thank you, Greg. It is 1-0 Padres on the long ball by Chase Headley with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. And Andrew Cashner, in his return to the rotation, if you want to call it that, he's made only 1 start this year for the Padres and only 2 in his major league career, but he's looking like he belongs as a starter with the way he's thrown the ball through 3. JD.
Yeah, I think that was the plan all along with the Cubs as well. They brought him up as a reliever, but the idea was ultimately he would move to the rotation, much as they've done with Jeff Samardzija. You take a guy with a big arm like that, and he may not be ready in your estimation to work as a starting pitcher in the big leagues, but he could certainly come in and blow people away for an inning or 2 at a time. So get him to the big leagues, do a little on-the-job training, and then stretch him out and put him in the rotation.
Jed Lowry got a fly ball to right first time up. Now showing bunt and looking at ball 1. Astros trying to get Cashner in the stretch. Make some things happen here. Astros hadn't had nobody left on base at the end of the game since the 09 season until last night. Cashner floats a changeup for a strike. Cashner got his first major league win against the Astros in July of 2010 in relief in Chicago. He came in with the Cubs trailing 7-6 in the 6th inning, worked 2 hitless innings, and they turned it around and won it 14-7.
If I were running an organization, I would all my best arms. I would try to make them starters, and then they have to prove to me they couldn't do that job before I move them to the bullpen. These high ceiling guys, if they've got good enough secondary pitches where they can give you 200 innings a year as opposed to what you get from a guy out of the bullpen, I'd much rather have that in a rotation.
Hit to left field and caught there by Quentin. 1 out.
Speaking of relievers, and we really weren't, but Chad Qualls got designated for assignment today by the Philadelphia Phillies.
Interesting. Chicago Cubs designated Randy Wells for assignment also. He had been in their rotation. Carlos Lee struck out on a 3-2 count in the 1st inning. That's kind of a story this year. He's only fanned 16 times. He's been the toughest in the majors to strike out. There's ball 1. Carlos 1 homer away from tying Craig Biggio on the Minute Maid Park all-time home run list. Craig is 3rd with 79. Carlos has 78. And also when he hits 1 more, whether it's home or road, he'll tie Richard Hidalgo for 9th place on the all-time Astros home run list. He has 133 as an Astro. He's worked the count. 2-2-1. Three balls and a strike with Bogusevic coming up next. The Astros have hit 11 homers since June 23rd. That's tops in the major leagues. And they've had 12 doubles also in the last 5 games for a .540 slugging percentage. That's a liner to left. Quentin with that catch. 2 outs.
2 outs, but 2 pretty good swings. First by Lowry, now by Lee. So as these hitters see Cashner for the 2nd time, at least they're getting some better licks at him. Who's hot, who's not around Major League Baseball? How about A.J. Burnett winning 8 straight? That hasn't happened for the Pirates since Doc Ellis did it back in the 70s. Bautista's going off like a madman. Verlander doing what he does, and there's the news on Qualls. And how about the Dodgers shut out 3 consecutive games by the Giants up in San Francisco?
Yes.
It's the first time that's ever happened.
Strike to Bogusevic. Brian grounded out. First baseman to pitcher covering. They are not playing each other tonight. The Mets are in L.A. later tonight. Cincinnati is in San Francisco as they start new series.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is a good one.
It's Bumgarner and Johnny Cueto.
Yes, both 9-game winners. Tapped, and the shortstop Cabrera comes over. That takes care of the third out. 4 no-hit innings for Cashner and a 1-0 lead for the Padres.
What do you drive? Well, a pretty brutal turnaround for the Astros after they wrap this one up tonight. They got to get on the plane, fly to Chicago, and be there for a 120 game at Wrigley tomorrow. On the mound for the Astros in that one, Bud Norris making his return after being on the disabled list since June 12th. Bud got off to a great start, of course. He began the season 5-1, but he lost his last 3 decisions. So Bud is anxious to get back out on the mound and get going again. He will oppose Paul Maholm tomorrow. And this just in, Bud was, in fact, on the same plane as Kevin Eschfelder going out to Chicago. Guys, that's your Mazda game break.
All right. Andrew Cashner leads it off, and there is ball 1. So Kevin will be well rested for Astros Live tomorrow at 12:30.
He's going to have to carry that program.
Yep, he really is. Little chop goes out toward Jed Lowry. He charges, makes the throw, and just nips him. He was running hard.
Twice he's almost beat out infield hits.
Sure is. He's 0 for 2, but he's almost 2 for 2.
It's good to be young. It's also good to be out when he's safe.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I think he's catching everybody by surprise the way he's getting down that line, including the umpire. Well, he might have been out there. That was close. That could have gone either way.
Yeah. Chris Tenorfia, the batter.
He's come to play, boy. He's kind of barking out there. And
yeah. He's really intent on doing well tonight, and he is. Chris Tenorfia struck out looking, and he grounded out. I think an infielder would be surprised that a pitcher would be that fast.
Yeah,
Normally,
well, especially a big guy like that. It'd be one thing if it was Mike Hampton to get down the line like that. But what's Andrew, about 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah, he's listed at 6'6". Aren't you guys taught to conserve your energy on routine ground balls?
I guess with his speed, there's no such thing as routine ground ball.
Must not be.
He's playing the whole game.
2-0. Denorfia's 12-game hitting streak came to an end last night. He looks at a strike. He was a pinch hitter in the game, and he only had 1 at bat. Colorado beat Washington 11-10 in 11 innings in Colorado. Lowry backhands, throws, and so well done by Jed Lowry. He's been doing this all year long. He is so accurate on that off-balance throw in the hole.
Yeah, and it's the quickness, the transfer from glove to throwing hand he does seamlessly. And he always seems to get just enough on that throw to get his man.
He makes him run hard, JD, and then he just clips him by a half step at first. Tenorfia probably thought he had a hit, and that would have been in a lot of circumstances. Forsythe is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to Chris Johnson and lined out to him. 3 hits for the Padres. They've left 4. Keuchel throws strike 1.
Yeah, his accuracy with that throw is what amazes me. How many times it's right on the money.
Sure. It's just uncanny. The first baseman hardly has to do anything. It's usually right there chest high. 1 ball, 1 strike for Dallas Keuchel. 7th round pick in 09, 23 years old. Rolled out to second. And Moore takes it on to Carlos Lee, and a 9-pitch 5th inning. 1-0.
Join us for our next Flashback Friday, presented by the Methodist Hospital System on Friday, July 6th against the Brewers. The Astros will wear the 1980s shoulder rainbow jerseys on the field, and Jose Cruz will toss out the ceremonial first pitch. After the game, all fans can enjoy Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. Buy tickets at astros.com. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Look forward to that one. That's a very brief 3-game homestand with the Brewers. There's a different rainbow look. And yet another variation. Jim Crane was asked about the new uniforms, and still waiting word from Major League Baseball on the approval of those for next year. So there's a pretty good chance there'll be a new look coming. Chris Johnson is the batter, bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 Padres. Change up, strike 1 for Cashner. Johnson grounded out in the 2nd inning. Matt Downs became one of only 3 Astros to hit a home run in a 1-0 win at Minute Maid Park since this ballpark opened in 2000. Brad Ausmus did it in 06. Lance Berkman did it in 02. Ripped a 3-1 pitch from the lefty Clayton Richard. Cashner was kind of paused on that call. 2 balls and a strike. Last night was the 3rd fastest game in the history of this ballpark, 1 hour and 58 minutes. Foul ball there, and it's 2-2. We're talking about travel, Chris Johnson and I, around the batting cage. Well, these guys, you know, AAA, AA, single A, they've all been through some tough travel situations, right?
Yeah. I remember in the Southern League, 17-hour bus trips.
Oh.
And having to pitch the next day.
Wow. And you can't sleep on a bus, right? No way. You could try.
Well, not very well.
Struck him out.
But the bus we had was with the Nashville Sounds. And we went from Florida. Went from Orlando to Nashville to see Cashner finishing him off with a good down and away fastball there. And they had 2 or 3 bunks on the bus stacked together, one on top of the other. And the next day, starting pitcher and the catcher got I think there's 3, got 2 of them. But you couldn't even roll over. You had to slide in.
Oh.
And you couldn't roll over because the one above you was that close to you.
Line shot. Whoa! Alonso laid out to Rob Castro on a scorching liner for out number 2. That's 9 straight set down by Cashner.
But again, the Astros had some good swings last inning, and none better than this one here from Castro. And Alonso makes a spectacular play to rob him of a base hit. And a good job by Castro. If you remember his last at bat, he walked. I believe it was on 4 pitches.
Yes.
So this time he goes up there thinking, all right, he's going to be aggressive and come after me, and he was ready for it. Put a great swing on it.
JD Martinez looks at ball 1. So 17 hours. Let's say your ball game's over at 10 o'clock. You take a shower, grab a quick bite. You're on the bus by 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think in that instance we had a day game the day before. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember rolling in the middle of the day and crashing in a hotel for a little while.
Well, you know, some of the guys who have been in the PCL will tell stories about 4 a.m. wake-up calls, 5 a.m. wake-up calls.
Yeah. We used to, when I was in the International League, we used to always catch those first flights in the morning.
Yeah, you got to get there with that first flight in the morning to the next city. That's what they require because there may be snags in travel. So then he said sometimes you'll get in, you know, early afternoon or whatever, and the hotel rooms won't be ready.
Kind of mill around in the lobby.
Oh boy.
Go grab a bite to eat at Denny's or something. Humberto Quintero lookalike contest here tonight, and there's your winner.
Close resemblance, actually. 3 balls, 2 strikes to JD Martinez. He lined to right field in the 2nd inning.
Now, you don't want to be on a commercial flight and end up with a AAA ball club rolling in at 5 o'clock in the morning on your flight, 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's called a swing. And a strikeout. And through 5, Andrew Cashner has a no-hitter going against the Houston Astros. He has struck out 6. He's walked 1. And it's 1-0 Padres. The game show you Jed Lowry on his patented play in the hole. Off balance throw, perfectly on target to Carlos Lee. Just barely in time to get to It's in the 5th inning. And after he did the same thing to Cashner. Better earlier. And then earlier in the game he did it to Cashner in the 2nd inning. So 3 times Lowry's gone into the hole to make that play. Now Chase Headley, he is 2 for 2 with a homer. Looking at ball 1 as he opens the 6th inning. Prior to Dallas Keuchel's complete game, his last time out, the last pitcher to toss a complete game in his first or second appearance was Clay Buchholz, majors of Boston, and he threw a no-hitter in his second major league appearance in September of 07.
Kind of like Bert Hooton.
That's true. What was it, his third appearance?
Fourth, I think.
Fourth, yeah. 1-1. The last Astro to go the distance in his first or second major league game did it in his second. Randy Neiman, May of '79. One hopper and flagged down by Lowry. He throws from deep and gets him on a one-hop throw. Carlos Lee digs it out. Clinic tonight for Lowry.
Jed's not home. He's busy. He's been very busy tonight. Tough hop. He has to retreat a little bit. And then a little help from Carlos on the other end. Another pretty play.
That's the 5th play Lowry's made in this game. And he got pulled toward left field on that one, JD.
Yeah, just had to. You can see him working his feet, trying to get a favorable hop.
Carlos Quentin has line to right and he's walked. Keuchel really up against it in this game. Off his glove, and that'll slow it down, and that means an infield hit for Quentin. Hit number 4 for the Padres.
And a lot of times you wish these would just be left alone by the pitcher because the middle infielder can make a play for you. I'm not so sure on this one. Had a lot of top spin, and I think Lowry was shaded towards the pull side. So that one probably gets up the middle anyway for a base hit.
That's pretty good steam on it. He's on with 1 out. Here's Guzman. He's hit the ball on the ground twice.
One more time would be just fine from the Astros point of view. Quentin is not a base stealer. Tell Carlos, I might go on this one. I'm going to go on this one.
It's 2 balls, no strikes. Washington fell behind 2-0 at Colorado today, and then got 5 in the 3rd inning, got 4 in the 5th, got 1 in the 9th to tie it, and lost in the 11th to the Rockies. Things are not dull with that Rocky club at Coors Field. Crazy year for their pitchers out there. Humidor or no humidor. Up the right field line, that's slicing away from Bogusevic and into the seats. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, it's a nightmare out there.
Oh.
Runs are down in baseball in a big way. They were last year, are again this year, but not so much for the Rockies.
Josh Outman started for them today, and he was outed after 3 innings, giving up 5 runs. His ERA is 9.32.
Rockies team ERA is 5.43. It's about a run and a half higher than the league average.
Ooh. 3 balls in the strike.
You know, obviously Coors Field is a big part of that. But let's see what they're doing on the road.
Okay. 3-1 coming.
469 on the road.
Now a walk, and runners are at first and second for Yonder Alonso with 1 out.
Not surprisingly, the Astros have the worst road ERA in baseball, or in the National League anyway, 5.61. And that helps to explain that rather wide gap in their home record and road record.
It certainly does. They're 9-25 on the road.
We'll fix that. What are we going to do? How are we going to fix that, Brownie?
Well, Bud Norris is up tomorrow.
Bring a roof and a train?
No. You know, the potential is there with these guys. The splits are crazy. How many guys are so much better at home than road this year? Alonso is 1 for 2.
Fox Tracks is going to let us know where this pitch is going to be, and it's brought to you by ChooseNissan.com. A little slider shooting for that outside corner.
It's been a team effort, though, this year on the road, JD. The hitters have not hit as well as they have at home. The pitchers have not pitched as well as they have at home. 208 for the Padres with men in scoring position. Last of the majors. But they picked it up in this series, going 9 for 29. I think you would assume that with a major league player, normally he would perform better at home if all the ballparks were equal. Just more of a comfort zone being at home.
Right. Yeah. A place where you play 81 games a year as opposed to the most frequent places we see on the road, maybe 17, 18 ball games. Split up throughout the season.
That's ball 3. 3-0 here to Alonso. The Dodgers signed a Cuban-born outfielder today for big money.
6-7 year deal, something like that.
Yeah,
$42 million.
Right. I think he's 20 years old. That's a strike. That makes it 3-1.
Boy, Cashner's going along. Obviously, a very important at bat for Dallas Keuchel here as he battles Alonso. A couple of men on base. What's that kid's name?
It was an odd name, G-U-I-P or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. That wasn't it, but can't recall the exact spelling of it. Wouldn't know how to pronounce it if I did remember.
P-U-I-G.
P-U-I-G. That's right.
Yasiel. P-U-I. Puig, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. They walked him, and the bases are loaded with one out for Cabrera now. There's 4 walks for Keuchel. Brett Myers was not available last night, and presumably is available tonight. But Doug Keuchel and Brad Mills talk about it. Doug's going out with the bases loaded, 1 out. Cabrera, the batter. The Astros will have to make a player move to make room for Bud Norris on the roster tomorrow. Not sure what that will be, but that'll be announced presumably after the game tonight.
Dallas had 4 walks in his start against the Rangers in 5 innings of work. He worked 5 innings plus 1. He walked a man in the 6th to get things started, then was removed from that ball game. This complete game, he had much better command. Of course, different lineup than he faced in Arlington, and this is not a particularly strong lineup either. But again, you get into this stage of the game, you're down a run already. There's a tendency to pitch away from contact, and that's understandable. Didn't want to give in and throw a cookie once he fell behind in the count to a couple of dangerous hitters. But now he's got to make some pitches. Astros pull the infield in. Cabrera is so difficult to double with his speed, so they're going to bring the infield in and look to make a play at home.
Quinton's a runner at third. Time called here. Cabrera wants to dig a foothold.
With a struggling Hundley on deck, and then the pitcher spot cannot rule out a squeeze here. Brad Mills tried a bases loaded squeeze the other day.
Ball 1. Bud Black's club is last in runs scored, last in slugging percentage. You might be thinking about that, especially the way Cashner is throwing tonight. If he could get him a second run, that could be very, very big for him. We're at 143 with runners in scoring position, so that would add to that thought about a squeeze perhaps. In for a strike, that makes it 1-1. In that Pittsburgh 5-4 win at Philly, A.J. Burnett went to 9-2 with a 3.31 ERA. So the Astros would be facing him next week then.
And he had that one disastrous start where he gave up 12 runs in an inning.
Ooh.
You throw that out, and his ERA is just a touch above 2.
Pedro Alvarez hit his 14th homer. Casey McGee, number 5. Hunter Pence, number 14 for the Phils. That's a beautiful pitch, and it's 1-2 as he changed speeds on Cabrera. Now Keuchel has a little working room.
Talk about jelly legging a guy with a curveball.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to Cabrera. All out of sync.
He has to battle for contact.
Cabrera, pretty disciplined hitter. His minor league numbers show that he was very patient, drew a lot of walks.
Grounds that one foul. He's been hurt 3 years in a row now. Jason Bartlett is currently injured. There's a guy who could also be playing shortstop for the Padres. He had 83 at bats, but he was only hitting 133 when he went on the DL. Spins him around, and it's 2-2.
Well, that's a great pitch there after the soft stuff away, those big looping curveballs. Let him remind him, hey, don't just think you can look away on me.
Right, and I think a lot of these hitters will with Dallas. He threw first pitch strikes to 9 of the first 11 batters, but just 4 of the next 14 since then. In the dirt, but Cabrera took it for ball 3.
Not coincidentally, the 12th batter was the home run by Headley. So one big swing of the bat, perhaps set him back on his heels a little bit. Maybe lost a little confidence and didn't trust his stuff in the strike zone quite as much.
Big pitch here. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-2 count. 1-0 lead for the Padres in the 6th. Hundley's on deck. Crowd is into it now for Keuchel. Strike 3. Cabrera letting the umpire Darrell Cousins know about his displeasure.
Number 7 at the top of the zone. Castro just kind of caressed that one. Again, I think this is an instance where Cabrera was guessing anything but fastball there.
Hundley comes up. He is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop at third. Hundley made the final out with the bases loaded last night. And now gets this bases loaded chance, taking strike 1. The Padres left the bases loaded 3 times Tuesday night in the Astros 5-3 win. They stranded 13 in that game. Cashner's on deck. Reiner Cruz warming up. No balls, 2 strikes. Reiner hasn't pitched in quite some time now.
Only out front, fouling off that changeup in his first at bat. He was struck out on consecutive changeups from Keuchel. Strike 2, strike 3, 2 very good changeups. Had Hundley way out in front.
Players were talking about how good the crowd was last night. And this crowd also making itself known. Final game of the homestand. The Astros would love to come away with a 6-4 record getting into Chicago. This is a tough one for them tonight. Off the plate, and it's ball 1 to Hundley. This will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Keuchel.
Showing him a lot of soft stuff. He may feel like he can get in there and jam him with a fastball. You got to trust it, though. That's the pitch you've got to really commit to if you decide to try to go in there.
It's Oakland 4, Texas 2. After 4 now in Texas. Josh Reddick hit his 18th home run. Bud Black's club leading 1-0, has all 4 hits in this game. An infield hit and 2 walks in this inning. Now 3-2.
So the frustration on the part of Castro. He wanted to make the pitch right there.
Two full counts in a row here for Keuchel in this inning with the bases loaded. He struck out Cabrera looking. Only chased that high pitch for the final out last night. In the air to right center. Bogusevic calling. Schaefer's calling. Schaefer has it. And Keuchel is out of bases loaded. 1 out trouble. Still 1-0 in the 6th. Padres. Replay. We look back at the work of Andrew Cashner, who has 5 no-hit innings under his belt. JD.
Well, he's shown us the 3 outstanding pitches. You know, we knew about the good heater, the plus fastball, and it's not just plus, it's plus. Triple digits once tonight, a lot of 97, 98s, but he's shown a very good changeup. And he hasn't thrown a lot of breaking balls, but he's snapped off a couple of dandies.
They're the Conroe supporters for Cashner. 5 no-hit innings with 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Cashner. He lives in Montgomery now. Scott Moore will be first up in the 6th inning for the Astros. Keuchel due to bat second, and then Schaefer due up third. Cashner's thrown 67 pitches, 38 have been strikes. He threw 94 in his last start for AA San Antonio. Scott Moore struck out after working the count to 2-2 in the 3rd inning. Cashner blowing the ball by him at about 97.
I think this is kind of the key inning. Everybody in both dugouts aware of the fact that he's got a no-hitter going, but if you keep it through 6, that's when everybody gets a little more interested.
Cabrera sprinting into foul ground, sliding, can't get there. No balls, 2 strikes.
If he dove head first, he might have caught it.
Might have.
They might have just tore his face up, too.
Yeah. See why I'd want to slide to avoid running into that wall. But by sliding, he slowed down and failed to get there. Still, he sprinted over there and got himself in position to make an effort for it. Fastball, and he set it up perfectly for strikeout number 7. He has everything going tonight.
And Scott Moore's got to be thinking, this is my first big league start of the year. This is the assignment I draw facing this guy.
Yeah. Now Brian Bixler will pinch hit for Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel really had to work hard in that 6th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out. So he's coming out of this game after 6 strong innings again. He's had 3 really good starts as an Astro.
And you know, each one impressive for a different reason. And tonight I think it was just the way to battle out of some jams. He was not at his best tonight. Had base runners in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th. Left the bases loaded in the 6th. Had 4 walks. The bottom line is he gave up just the 1 run.
Brian Bixler pinch hits for Dallas Keuchel. Brian taking ball 1. He's been playing for Jose Altuve at 2nd some, and then he got a start in right field. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts for Keuchel. Bixler pops it up, a towering pop. Hundley over. It's out of play for him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bixler as a pinch hitter is 0 for 3. He's had 51 at bats with the Astros, a .255 average, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in.
Both those home runs coming on this homestand.
Hit his first career leadoff homer Monday night. He takes that for a ball, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Cashner was a shortstop and a catcher at Conroe High School. Then he moved to pitcher, and he had some difficulties hitting the breaking stuff. 3 starts this season for Dallas Keuchel. Great numbers. Crack bad roller. That makes it 1 and 2, and Bixler goes back for another piece of lumber. Marco Scutaro had the walk-off for the Rockies in the 11th inning a day, beating Washington 11-10. Rockies had a 7-run lead and lost it before they came back to win that game.
Fresh out of the ball game, Doug Brocail having a long chat with Keuchel. He's talking about his mechanics a little bit, maybe some of the angles on some of his pitches.
Nonetheless, he has not disappointed at all since coming out from Oklahoma City. One of those guys who's proving the theory that radar gun readings alone do not make a judgment on a pitcher. 3-2 to Bixler now. And that's strike 3. 8 strikeouts for Cashner.
Now number 6, just off that outside edge, but Cousins has been kind of all over the place tonight.
Let's go to Patty. Patty.
Well, hey, Astro fans, Chevy is proud to present a new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Houston, or visit hometownkidz.tv for more information. Bill?
2 outs for Cashner, and now it's Schaefer around for the 3rd time. He's grounded out and struck out. That's ball 1. Dodgers have not been shut out 4 times in a row in their history. That's what they're trying to avoid tonight. Foul back, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Capuano going for them against the Mets. He's 5-0 at home with a 1.57 ERA.
Left arm of Capuano's had at least 3 major surgeries. He's had Tommy John twice, had a shoulder. Pretty impressive comeback for him.
1 and 2 for Schaefer with Lowry on deck.
Diamondbacks have come back and scored 2 to get Trevor Bauer off the hook in his major league debut. It's 2-2 now in the middle of the 8th in Atlanta.
80 pitches for Cashner. He strikes out the side in the 6th inning. That's 9 punch-outs and 1 base runner for Houston through 6. A no-hitter, 1-0 Padres.
If it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Keuchel Casino Resort, the largest, most exciting casino resort in Louisiana. We'll put Louisiana delicacies in there for a moment. Saw a little shrimp. Meanwhile, we go back to the field. The Padres lead at 1-0. The Astros have all those zeros. The Astros also have a new pitcher. Here's Bill Brown and Jim Bechet.
Reiner Cruz is coming in, and we have not seen him in a game since June 16th at Texas. He's 1-0 with a 7.33 ERA.
Players probably put his picture on a milk carton in the clubhouse. Anybody seen this man?
Well, he's coming into a 1-0 ball game and facing the pitcher Andrew Cashner. Cashner has grounded out twice to Lowry at shortstop. They've both been really close calls at first. Taking ball 1 there. Cruz has allowed runs in each of his last 5 appearances. A total of 13 runs in those 5 games. It's 1-1, so he's had time to regroup now and hopes to keep this one close at 1-0 in the 7th. Missing there. It's a 2-1 strike count. Cruz gave up a grand slam to Adam Dunn. And the Astros were in Chicago playing the White Sox June 9th, so he's been going through some rough times. Rolled out to second.
This time, Cashner going to go a little easier down the line, try to save a little energy.
Yes. Well, he's got a no-hitter through 6. His second start of the year. He's been in the minor leagues. There's a lot going on with him right now.
Also realized he was going to be pretty easy out on that one. Wise to break it down a little bit.
19,415 the attendance tonight. That's about 4,000 more than last night. A little bit more than that, and the night before. For Thursday night. Denorfia is 0 for 3. Lowry's thrown him out twice. Chris Johnson even with a bag at third in a 1-0 game. He went for the breaking pitch, and that's strike 1.
Yeah, you know that old line. I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. It's like I went to a ball game and a soccer match broke out.
We had some low
score here in this series.
Boy, this homestand, we've seen a lot of good pitching. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think if you were to take one of those players poll and ask It's the most uncomfortable right-handed at bat in the National League, and Rainer Cruz would probably be in the top 5. And a lot of guys that haven't seen him yet. It's kind of new. The guys that have don't appear to be comfortable standing in there because he doesn't have good command. He's got a little bit of a funky arm angle. So there's a lot of balls that ride up and in on right-handed hitters.
Through the end of May, he had a 3.12 ERA.
There
That's
you go.
why it's uncomfortable.
Just see a couple of those on the evening news, and that'll get everybody's attention.
Carlos Lee is running in for first. After the chin music to Denorfia, takes the count to 3-1.
He just said, don't hit this guy. Their guy throws 100 miles an hour. And he seems rather irritable tonight.
Foul back.
Nice adjustment. So, and you know, it's a tough assignment for this kid. He hasn't pitched in so long. Rule 5 guy. He's here just to contribute, you know, when he can. And Brad Mills called his name frequently earlier on, more so than you might imagine for a Rule 5 guy.
Dallas Keuchel watching as Cruz gets a fly ball to right field. Ogasevic backing. 2 outs. He's hanging in a 1-0 game.
Have a good positive outing here today, and then take that out there with you the next time you pitch. Try to build on it.
Forsythe will be the batter. He's 0 for 3. Cleveland dumped Baltimore 7-2 tonight in Baltimore. Asdrubal Cabrera hit his 10th along the way. Tribe struggling in recent days. And the Astros contributed to that. Ground ball third. Oh, under Chris Johnson's glove into left field for an error. Forsythe reaches on the 2-out misplay, and Johnson has his 11th error of the year.
CJ having a pretty good year with the stick, but the glove has let him down.
Just as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Back in the 3rd inning with 2 outs, Chase Headley got a 2-2 pitch. Sent it out for the only run in this game. He's batting right-handed. Now he hits left. He's 2 for 3 in this game. That's in the air, and the left fielder, J.D. Martinez, is underneath it. Out number 3. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left, 1-0 San Diego in the 7th.
7th, and the Astros are excited to welcome contemporary Christian recording artist Mercy Me for the second Faith and Family Night of the season on Saturday, July 28th. The concert will take place following the 3:05 game against the Pirates, and the concert is included in your game ticket. Tickets for Faith and Family Night featuring Mercy Me are available at astros.com/mercy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Patty. Those are very popular concerts. The last one went over very well. We look forward to that next one on the 28th of July. 36 of the last 37 Astros have been retired after the Matt Downs homer leading off the third inning last night. Only one base runner for the Astros tonight. A 2-out walk to Jason Castro in the second inning. Jed Lowry leads it off in the 7th. And that's ball 1 from Andrew Cashner. Lowry has flied to right. He's flied to left. Cashner struck out the side in the 6th inning. He has struck out 5 of the last 6 batters. And has a no-hitter through 6. 1 ball, 1 strike. He was in the stands for game 6 or game 5 rather of the playoffs with the Cardinals in 2005, the NLCS, watching the Albert Pujols home run. Inside, Lowry took it for ball 2.
You think he was making loud bee noises?
Not sure.
Dressed up like a giant bumblebee?
He might have been doing that. That's possible. Now 3-1 to Lowry.
Well, Lowry's had a couple of pretty good swings at him, so Cashner being a little cautious here. Now he's worked himself into a hitter's count. We'll be looking for a fastball out over the plate, preferably down a little bit. We're going to try to crowd him.
Lowry pops it up. Headley over. That's 1 out for Cashner.
Well, just a little bit above where Jed likes it. He likes that ball down a little bit. That ball was elevated. Looked to be a strike. Not that he went after a terrible pitch, but again, that speaks to this kid's arm. Even on a 3-1 count with a pretty good fastball hitter, he just beats him. He flat out beats him with that good fastball. Jed immediately said, "Get out of here, please. Give me one more swing."
Before tonight, his longest outing was 5 1/3 innings in the majors. Brandon Lyon warms up. Carlos Lee taking. There's strike 1. Carlos has struck out and flied to left.
A fairly efficient game for Cashner, even with all the strikeouts. The pitch count was pretty good. That was number 87.
It's 1-1. Bogusevic on deck.
So the point in the game now where the manager starts to really get nervous because he's thinking, now we've got our prized pitching prospect out there pitching a no-hitter, and if the pitch count starts to get up there into the 115, 120 range, somebody might be mad if I don't get him out of this game. But Buddy Black, a former pitcher, there's no way Buddy Black, he's not going to go Preston Gomez on him. Preston Gomez twice removed pitchers with no hitters.
Great innings, right?
Yeah. It wasn't for pitch count reasons, it was for strategic reasons. Try to score.
Off the plate, ball 3, full count.
99. It's pretty easy 99 too.
It's not
looks like he's playing catch.
Carlos with a line drive hit to break up the no-hit bid of Andrew Cashner after 6 1/3.
We've already witnessed a perfect game this year. We don't need any more no-hitters from the opposition. Just a spot there, tried to go down and away, and you saw the reaction from Hundley.
Yep. First hit by an Astro. Now he's aboard with 1 out for Bogusevic, who's grounded out twice.
Cashner goes to the stretch for the first time since the second inning. A 2-out walk to Castro put him in the stretch position, so he's only worked out of the stretch for 1 batter.
There's ball one. 37 of 38 Astros had been retired until Lee reached. It's been a difficult stretch for these hitters. Arizona 2, Atlanta 2, bottom of the 8th inning in Atlanta.
So Buddy Black has been relieved of pitch count angst. He can just manage.
Foul back. That takes the pressure off the skipper a little bit. 1-1. Padres starting pitchers have only 18 wins this year and 35 losses.
Under Alonso, the first baseman, holding Carlos Leon. That gives Bogasevic a lot of room to work with on that right side. He pulls the ball on the ground to the right side a lot. So with him holding and Forsythe cheating towards second for double play, it really plays to Bogasevic's strength. Now all you got to do is get the head out on that 98-mile-an-hour heater and pull it.
Tough to do that.
Yeah, especially when it's up there.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Joe Thatcher, a lefty, and Luke Gregerson, a righty, are warming up for the Padres. .94 pitches for Cashner. White Sox got 3 in the top of the 9th. They lead the Yankees 4-3. Yankees batting in the bottom of the 9th against Addison Reed. Way up for ball 2.
That's a final now. White Sox beat them.
What a comeback. Hector Santiago, the winner. David Robertson, who was just promoted from the minor leagues, took the loss. Addison Reed got save number 11. Viciedo hit his 14th. Foul back. Still 2-2 for the Yankees. Mark Teixeira, number 13. Yankees now have to deal with the loss of 2 of their starters.
Probably short term, but you never know with Sabathia, and definitely not short term with Andy Pettit. It's a groin or inner thigh strain for the big guy, and Andy has a broken fibula. Took a line drive off the lower leg. He could be out for 2 months.
The Yankees were 25-7 in their last 32 before tonight. That was the best in the majors in that stretch. Bogasevic fouls it, putting up a good battle. The high octane stuff.
And it looked like again that he was trying to get out in front of one and yank it through that hole. We've seen him punch the ball into the Crawford boxes. That would work just fine. Take that high heater the other way a little bit. It's out away from you. It's this guy, though. You can't do a whole lot of manipulating. You're just trying to battle.
Yeah. Well, that time he did.
Spoiled a good pitch, off-speed pitch there.
Sure did.
Had him out in front, but he kept the hands back just long enough to live for another day.
And again, he protects and fouls away. This will be the 100th pitch coming up for Cashner.
This could not have been fun ABs for high school kids against this guy back when he was at Conroe High.
Clayton Richard was sensational last night. Another foul ball. Richard gave up 2 hits and 1 run in 7 innings. Now Cashner is stacking another outstanding start on top of that.
A high change up there. Got Bogey in swing mode. The one that he might have a hard time getting to is that hard breaking ball down. It's been mostly fastballs and a couple of changeups in this sequence. Curveball down there where number 1 is might finish him off. Fastball in.
He clocks it to right field. Bogasevic gives it a long ride, and the Astros get a 2-run homer and grab the lead 2-1. What a battle, with Bogasevic winning it for his 6th home run of the year.
Wow, what a great job by Bogasevic.
A 10-pitch at bat, and he wins the battle. 12 homers in 6 games for the Astros. This very meaningful in the 7th.
They're trying to change directions on him. They've been working him up and away. And then they tried to get in on him with a fastball. He didn't get it in. He got it down a little bit, but that's Bogey's strength. What a great at-bat.
And that makes it 2-1 Houston, and Bud Black will come out after the visit by Hundley.
No hitter shutout and lead all gone in the span of 2 batters.
That's a tough one for Cashner. Threw the ball so very well, and just one of the best at bats we've seen this year. 15th home run this homestand for the Astros, but how he had to work to get to it and get a pitch he could handle. And as you pointed out, the locations were different as they used different strategies to try to get him out.
No, and I don't think at that point in the at bat, I don't think Bogey was looking for any particular pitch in any particular location. He just reacted to that fastball down, and just pitch he handles well. Cashner has made very few mistakes tonight.
What a tremendous night for Andrew Cashner. 2-1 Houston back in the moment. Now in the 7th inning, after 6 1/3 no-hit innings by Cashner, here's Bogusevic connecting.
Yeah, just went down and got a fastball down and in. Just a great reaction by Cashner, because there was no doubt once it left the bat where this thing was going to end up. And those of you who sold your Bogusevic stock, you're going to want to run out and buy some, but it's going to cost a little bit more. You're going to wish you held on to it.
Yeah, the emerging markets are coming back, JD. And Brian Bogusevic hitting number 6. Now has 20 runs batted in. He's turned this game around for the moment. Luke Gregerson is 1-0. His ERA 3.78.
Well, Astros looking to build now, and Gregerson comes on for the 36th time. A solid reliever for the Padres the last couple of years. Started his career with the Cardinals. He throws a lot of sliders.
Fans really energized by what just happened. Chris Johnson is 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout.
The last 2 nights at the ballpark. Last night's 1-0 game with the late drama. Now this one where you watch the opposing pitcher, a local kid, working on a no-hitter. And then one big swing of the bat, and the Astros take the lead.
No balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, better order on your phone and have them bring the food to you.
Yeah.
Missed 1 or 2 pitches, and you've missed a lot in these games lately. Such composure for Cashner. He could be an outstanding major league pitcher. He has all the stuff to do it. Going to be fun to watch his career progress. Wow. CJ cannot believe that call by Darryl Cousins. 2 outs. It's 10 strikeouts for Padres pitchers.
He called that high breaking ball a couple of times tonight. Brad Mills out to usher CJ back into the dugout before he gets tossed.
Now it's Castro. He walked on 4 pitches in the second, and he was the only Houston base runner until 1 out in the 7th. And then smacked a line drive, and Alonso made a diving catch on it. Strike to Castro. These at-bats have been something. And Carlos Lee worked the count to 3-2. Hit a single, and then Bogusevic a 10-pitch at-bat with a 2-run homer on a 2-2 count. And the Astros have had that quality in a lot of their wins this year. They just really have a way of battling and finally getting some big swings in late, even though they trailed early. They have 2 runs on 2 hits. But Keuchel kept them close enough to do that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about, when you pitch well and you hold the other club down, then you can make the case, hey, what timely hitting.
Well, if it's 5-0 and you're trailing in the 7th.
4 hits in 2 ball games. I don't know if we can call that timely hitting.
No.
Just enough.
Up the middle, off his leg. It goes out to Cabrera at short. Cabrera with the, it's dropped at first base by Alonso. He had him, and Alonso, that throw was right to him.
Now they're calling him out. They're calling interference on Jason.
Oh, okay. Well, Castro is ruled out.
Wow, you rarely see that on a throw from a middle infielder. It's one thing if the catcher's throwing the ball down the first base line or the pitcher.
2 runs on 2 hits. The Astros lead it 2-1.
Maybe they called interference, but it looked like Cousins got it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way Cabrera threw it, it looked like he.
Well, he's just going through with the play because he's not sure exactly what happened on the mound.
Yeah. So that's the way the out was turned in from 1-6. Now Brandon Lyon in the game, and here's Carlos Quentin.
Tough break for Castro.
Hit that ball very hard off Gregerson's foot. Quentin has a walk and an infield hit. There is ball 1 from Lyon. Lyon's 0-2 with a 2.79 ERA. Cruz with 1 inning, allowed no hits, no runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. Pitched around an error. He could be the winning pitcher.
How about that? Pitch for half a month and then pick up a W.
1-1 for Lyon. In this 8th inning, Quentin, Guzman, Alonso due up. A tough part of the San Diego lineup. Padres have 4 hits to the Astros 2. That one goes back out of play. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. That was crazy on the ball off Gregerson's foot.
A little lazy breaking ball there, and you see the reaction from Quentin. He knows he missed a hittable pitch.
Another tight ball game here. Oh, there have been so many well-pitched games on this 10-game homestand. Low scoring, almost like a flashback to the late 1960s or something. Breaking pitch, and he went for it, struck out.
Yeah, comes back with a good, sharp breaking ball to finish him off.
Patty?
Well, if you're hitting the road, take the Astros with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Astros out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball is everywhere. Bill?
It's Guzman now. He's grounded out twice, and he's walked. Vincent warming up for the Padres. They sent Brad Brock down to the minor leagues today to get Cashman onto the roster. There's ball 1. Cashner, rather. Cashner in 6 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, walking 1, fanning 9. Fly ball out to right field. Bogusevic, 2 outs.
One of the great things about baseball, that Cashner's in position to lose this game, and Reiner Cruz could be the winner.
If it didn't touch the ground, then it's still alive to be caught in the air.
In play.
So it's off his foot, and it's caught on the fly, and that's the out. What fooled us was that it appeared that Cabrera didn't think the play was over. So, but as you say, he's trying to go ahead and throw on over there anyway. And then the ball was dropped by Alonso, which was weird because it would have been an out had he caught it anyway, even had the ball bounced.
Yeah. He had the easiest job of the 3. just catch the throw.
Flanked it. Alonso has a single and a walk tonight. So the first game of the homestand a week ago Sunday, Astros left Texas, then they started that homestand. That was a crazy one. But then the pitching duel started. Kansas City won the second game 2-0, then beat Houston 2-1. Then Cleveland won 2-0. And the Astros started to get a little offense together. And then these last 2. Very well pitched.
Well, we better enjoy it while we can because we're heading to Wrigley Field and it's hot and humid and the wind blowing out at Wrigley.
Yes.
It's the forecast for the weekend.
17-1 game there yesterday. Up the middle and into center field. A hit for Alonso. He's on for the 3rd time. And Cabrera will follow.
I think Padre fans are going to enjoy this guy. Got a pretty good idea what he's doing in the batter's box.
He'll leave for the pinch runner now, Alexi Amarista.
Black certainly can afford to use Amarista here to pinch run. He has 3 other left-handed bats on his bench. Amarista, a real speedy guy. He's got 1 right-handed bat, Cameron Maben.
Alonso leaving for the pinch runner. And it's Cabrera batting. Cabrera has walked. He's 0 for 2.
So if you're going to use Amarista to run here in this situation with 2 outs, you're going to ask him to try to steal a base, aren't you?
Probably. Yep.
And Cabrera's not a power hitter, so you're not laying back thinking you're going to get a double from Cabrera. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you contemplate the strategy going forward in this inning. If you're Bud Black, I'm thinking Amarista's job is to try to steal second base.
That might be why this move is being made to Wesley Wright. Get a left-hander on the mound, and also it would be Cabrera batting right-handed. It's 2-1 Houston. Back in a moment. Out of the Houston bullpen to turn around Cabrera. Cabrera has a lot better results as a left-handed batter, and Wesley is 0-1 with a 3.68 ERA.
Yeah, Cabrera, switch hitter, hitting just .176 as a right-handed hitter. He's 6 out of 34. He does have 1 home run right-handed and just a couple of walks. As a left-handed hitter, he's hitting .290 with a .383 on base percentage. So you get Cabrera turned around, plus with the lefty on the mound, makes it a little bit tougher for Amarista to get a jump to steal a bag. One would assume.
Yes, sir. Cabrera has hit a fly ball to center and struck out looking after walking. Wright pitched on Sunday against Cleveland, 1/3 of an inning, didn't give up a run. 39 appearances, second in the National League. And falls behind Cabrera with ball 1. Earlier in the season, Wesley Wright had 19 straight scoreless appearances.
Cabrera, good bunter. You got to be wary of a little push bunt to the right side.
Bouncer right. Quick glove hand. And he gets him to end the top of the 8th. No runs ahead and a man left. 2-1 Houston. Changes, and we also have series probables at Chicago. Brought to you by Chevron. It's Norris and Maholm tomorrow. It's Happ and Garza, and it's Rodriguez and Wood in the 3-game series. All day games coming up from Chicago. Now Nick Vincent on the mound for the Padres. Alexi Amarista takes over in center field. New first baseman as well for San Diego.
Nick Vincent just made his Major League debut here the other night. He worked 2 scoreless innings, walked a man, punched out a couple. Guzman slides over to first base.
Probably Denorfia. We'll check who's probably still Quentin in left field. We'll check on that. Vincent in 1 game has made his debut successfully Tuesday night with an ERA of 0 here. Recall from San Antonio prior to that game.
This is good stuff. You know, Cruz hadn't pitched in a long while. He came into this tight game. Now Vincent, just a second Major League appearance, comes in a 1-run ball game in the 8th inning on the road.
There's Denorfia moving to right. And now the Astros bat in the 8th inning with J.D. Martinez. Luke Gregerson in 2/3 of an inning allowed no hits, no runs with no walks. He had a strikeout. Martinez is 0 for 2. Scott Moore to follow. And then the pitcher spot, Stu up third. Vincent throwing the slider, and there's ball one.
Vincent 25. He'll turn 26 in a couple of weeks. He's from Long Beach State. Well, he's actually from Poway, California. He played collegiately at Long Beach State.
Okay.
So he's a homeboy for the Padres, San Diego guy.
Yes. Homegrown. In tight to JD. He looks at a ball and makes it 3-0 to him.
Green light him. Well, he's been swinging it.
Yes. Red Myers is warming up for the Astros. Hundley, Vincent, Tenorfia due up. And there's a leadoff walk. Scott Moore is looking down to Dave Clark to see if he might be bunting here. He struck out both times tonight. And Myers is getting ready for the ninth for the 8-9-1 spots in the San Diego lineup. Matt Downs comes out to the on-deck circle. Brandon Lyon in 2/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, no runs with no walks and 1 strikeout. Rainer Cruz with a hitless inning, could be the winning pitcher. Ground ball sneaks to the right side. JD Martinez is hustling for third. And the throw is not in time and hits Dave Clark. Dave Clark is down. That throw got him. And it's first and third, nobody out for the Astros. Well, Moore gets his first hit as an Astro, and it's a very exciting one as it turns out.
Yeah, well, he had that hole on the right side. And he went out and got that two-seamer moving away from him, was able to hook it, didn't hit it real hard, and the fact that it wasn't hit that hard allowed JD Martinez to force the action and go to third base there. And unfortunately, the ball hit Dave Clark. The pitcher had gone over to back up, so he probably would have been able to make a play on the ball anyway.
Tenorfia with a throw, skids, and got Dave. Oh boy. Headley unable to stop it. Now the infield comes in, and it's Matt Downs pinch hitting for Wesley Wright. That was the first and third, nobody out. Infielders in tight for Downs. And this one gets by Hundley, and JD Martinez will score to make it 3-1. Hundley lunged for it. Couldn't keep it close. Martinez scoring. Moore taking second.
Vincent overthrows his slider, and Hundley just late to react. Didn't move the feet, reached across with the glove. Couldn't get it. Astros get a cheap run.
On the wild pitch, the Astros lead by a couple now. And it was ball one to Downs.
Downsy was going to get him in anyway. Just got cheated out of an RBI.
Moore moved to second on that wild pitch. Downs provided the only run last night. The third Astro to hit a homer in a 1-0 Houston win at Minute Maid Park. It's 2-1. He aired it out pretty well there too. Downs was getting a start in last night's game as a pinch hitter. He's 2 for 17. 177 for the season with 5 homers. He's driven in 9. That was his first start at second last night. 3 balls and a strike. Downs now has started 6 games at third, 5 at first, 5 in right field, and 1 at second. Rod Moore checks around to see where Cabrera is. Cabrera's just about behind him right now. Flared out into shallow center field. Amarista with the catch. 1 out. Jordan Schaefer comes up. He's 0 for 3 with 2 punch outs. Five hits for the Padres, 3 for the Astros.
Right-hander Vincent split time between AA and AAA before being called up at AA. He was outstanding in a 1.86 ERA. Struck out 15 men. Didn't walk a batter in 9 2/3. The numbers at AAA Tucson not pretty at all. 11 earnings in 8 2/3 innings.
Some of those stops in the PCL can be brutal on ERAs.
Yeah. Especially if you're left out there on a night where you just don't have your good stuff. You're getting hit around a little bit, and the manager just needs you to work an inning or two. And sometimes you just have to suck it up and take your beating.
Colorado Springs, Las Vegas, some of those places. Pretty difficult for pitchers. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah, there's another one. The Astros making the most of their hits. 3 runs on 3 hits tonight. 1 run on 2 hits last night. Foul back over the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kevin Eschenfelder will be nice and rested for the pregame show tomorrow. Astros live at 12:30 from Wrigley Field. Greg Lucas, of course, always does yeoman's work with all the pregame interviews and things of that nature, special reports. So join us at 12:30.
Time's the game, 105?
It's 120.
120.
So you have extra time tomorrow, JD.
Big 20 minutes.
Yes, it is.
If I was Millsy, I'd tell the guys, they just show up by 1. We'll be good. First 9 guys to show up get to play.
Well, we already know they're not doing much on the field.
We got 9. We got Bud there already. So first 8 position players to show up for work. You're in there.
Roller goes foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. First visit to Wrigley Field this season for the Astros, and they will wind up the season there.
Interesting. The Astros play their final National League games at Wrigley.
Yeah, the oldest park in the National League. Foul back.
Hey, they should get the dome ready, and we'll play a series in the dome before the end of the year.
Yeah. There's a lot of discussion about what to do with the dome. It's going to cost some money, there's no doubt. Even to tear it down would cost a lot of money, so it'll be interesting to see which way that one goes. Hundley comes back near the screen for this pop-up, but can't get a play on it. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Texas got 4 in the 5th and leads Oakland 6-4. Bottom of the 6th inning now. Boston and Seattle have played 2 without any score in Seattle.
Bobble and then into the popcorn.
Nice.
He was ready too.
Good outcome.
See, not like the guy the other night that was using that cup to try to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Gotta have the right tool. Gotta have the right equipment for the job.
A little larger opening is required than a cup. Mets got a run in the first, and they lead the Dodgers 1-0 after 1 at Dodger Stadium against Chris Capuano. Chris Young going for the Mets. Smack foul. That was right in the happy zone. Schaefer turned on it. 2 balls, 2 strikes still. Giants got 2 in the first. They lead Cincinnati 2-0 after 1 with Madison Bumgarner on the mound.
Apparently the Phillies are shopping Jim Thome American League clubs who may need a bat as a DH.
Okay. Reaching, he fouls that one, the off-speed pitch. That Giant club, after whitewashing the Dodgers in all 3 games to sweep that series, going for a rare 4 shutouts in a row. Orioles had 5 in a row to conclude the 1995 season. Bumgarner is 4-0 in June in 5 games, and trying to become the first Giant pitcher to finish a calendar month 5-0 since Noah Lowry, 5-0 in August of 2005. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Jordan putting up a pretty good fight here, trying to salvage his night. 0 for 3 so far with a couple of punch outs.
Vincent got him. 2 outs.
Swing a little long there.
The 11th pitch of the at bat. Vincent got a strikeout. Now it's Lowry batting. Jed 0 for 3 tonight. Carlos leads on deck. Lowry looks at strike 1. It's a 1 ball 1 strike count to Jed.
He's going to hit it hard, Brownie.
He's been hitting a lot of balls hard this homestand.
He hit it hard somewhere here.
Squaring it up, but he's hit some just a few feet foul, but making some solid contact. Ooh, tough to hit that unless you're a cricket player. 2 balls and a strike.
A striker?
Yeah. Is that what they call him?
I don't know. I think so. There's bowlers. The guys that throw to the bowler. The hitters are the strikers. I don't know.
Speaking of that, Nick Hundley can tell us all about that. He was introduced to cricket during an 8-day trip to, I believe it was Australia last fall.
You play a little bit?
Yeah, he said it was weird moving your feet to hit and going into the ball. Popped up.
That's my theory about hitting it hard. He hit it high.
Hit it high. And that's out number 3, and it's 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. Moving to the 9th inning, the Astros lead it 3-1.
Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Brett Myers is in looking for his 18th save. The Astros are hoping he can get it and get back within 10 games of 500 before hitting the road. And now let's go back upstairs to Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Bud Black has assembled pinch hitters here for Brett Myers. Brett is 17 for 18 in saves with a 3.46 ERA. First pinch hitter up will be lefty hitting catcher John Baker.
Myers working for the 5th time on this homestand. A couple of nights ago, he worked 2/3 of an inning, allowed a couple of hits, no runs charged to him. ERA's been coming up a little bit. June 2nd, it was $1.96.
Baker at 247 for 93 at bats, has no homers, 9 runs batted in. 2 for 4 pinch hitting with an RBI. Puts this one in the air to left. JD Martinez backs off the wall, and that one is off the wall. Baker gets into second easily as the ball gets by Martinez with a pinch double to lead off the 9th inning and get the potential tying run to the plate. Will Venable on deck, and he's looking back at the bench. Now he is coming up.
And a fastball right there for him. He's actually a little bit late on it, but almost drove it out of here.
Now Venable, as you see that double from the bat of Baker, is hitting for Vincent. Vincent in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run, had 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Venable, a 259 hitter with 6 homers, has driven in 20.
Talked about that big bump in Myers' ERA over the last 10 appearances, but the large majority of it coming in that 1 outing against Kansas City when he was touched up for 5 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. When he was coming in just to get a little work, the Astros hung on and won that game 9-7.
Up the middle off Myers' foot. It goes out to Lowry. Lowry on to Lee in time to get Venable.
Baker should have been standing on third base. Not that significant. It's a 2-run game. I guess he just wanted to make sure the ball cleared the mound, and by the time it did that, he didn't feel like he could get over to third base. And again, it wasn't not all that important. That was important on another very close play at first.
We've had about 3 or 4 of those. Now Mark Kotsay is going to pinch hit for Denorfia. Denorfia was 0 for 4. Kotsay 5 for 12 against Brad Myers. In fact, he came through as a pinch hitter against Myers Monday in the Padres 10-inning win. And then he started against Jordan Lyles, went 1 for 3 Tuesday night.
Kotsay's been very good in the pinch this year. 5 out of 16 with a home run.
He's a .309 career pinch hitter with 46 hits and 149 at bats. That's second among all active players with 150 plate appearances or more. Forsythe is on deck. Myers deals a strike. That evens the count at 1-1 to Kotsay.
Gets the inside corner at the knees.
Kotsay 5 for 16, as you mentioned, pinch hitting. All 6 of his runs batted in this year, giving the Padres the lead. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kotsay. Myers is making his 6th appearance in 10 games on this homestand. That's why that man wanted to give him a night off and did so last night. Brad Mills had a couple of pitchers warming up. That stroke through the left side. Baker to third base, getting a stop sign there on the pinch single by Kotsay. And the Padres, with their pinch hitters effectively swinging the bat, have 2 pinch hits here in the 9th inning and bringing up Forsythe now.
Situation the other night, they pinch ran with Jason Marquis for Kotsay. Marquis, one of the pitchers.
Dale Thayer's warming up in the pen. Forsythe is 0 for 4. Reached on an error in the 7th inning. That's the only ball that's gone out of the infield for him tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have somebody run.
Cameron Maben. Maben for Kotsay. Kotsay said
significant upgrade in speed there.
Yeah. Kotsay said it's a back surgery.
Yeah. Been around like Mark used to run really well.
And Maben can leg it. He is 16 for 19 in steals, takes those long strides. He represents the potential tying run, so if there's a double, he has a pretty good shot at scoring. Headley's on deck with Forsythe batting. Forsythe taking ball one from Myers. Myers got saved number 17 in the Astros 5-3 win Tuesday night. One ball, one strike. His breaking stuff has not been real sharp the last few times out, so it seemed to signal that a rest was needed for Brett. And that's what he got last night. There was nobody warming up when Lucas Harrell came out to start the ninth. Bounce to third. Chris Johnson unable to make that pickup cleanly. Guns to first. Safe at first. The run scores, and it's 3-2. Looked like the ball came up on CJ. Baker scoring. It's now a one-run lead. Runners at first and second, and one out.
The fourth time Forsythe has hit the ball in CJ's direction tonight. Second time it's resulted in an E5.
Second error and 12th of the year for Chris.
Hit sharply enough, if handled cleanly, might have been a game-ending double play.
Looked like it would have been. Baker scoring. And now Headley. There's a homer and a single and smacks that one foul for strike one. RBI for Forsythe on that error by Johnson. Baker coming home on the play.
Headley 4 out of 8 in his career off Myers with a couple of doubles.
Well, it has gotten interesting. Quentin on deck. A lot of room on the left side of the infield for Headley. Taking that for a ball to make it 1-1. Myers is pitcher number 5.
Good one.
1-2. Loop toward left field, and that is in for a hit. Maben is being stopped, and the bases are loaded. It was so shallow that Glenn Hoffman didn't want to send him, so the bases are loaded on Headley's third hit of the night.
Wow, now if you're Myers, you really got to fight the temptation to just feel like you're cursed. Thought you had the game-ending double play. That ball wasn't handled. Now this? Are you kidding me?
Barely made the outfield grass. And now it's Quentin.
Maybe I had to hesitate just a little bit to make sure it was going to get down. And Hoffman's throwing up the stop sign. Dangerous, dangerous hitter here.
Quentin has a walk and an infield hit tonight. He's lined out to right. Third, strike one. Padres battle back, and they have a shot.
Quentin, a good off-field hitter. He's been driving the ball the other way in this series. He's 1 out of 2 in his career off of Myers. Myers gets a lot of ground balls with his curveball. If you get him to try to pull that curveball moving away, he might get a little 6-4-3 action. Got a good heater in at 93.
4 balls, 2 strikes. Quentin didn't like it. Padres 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Maben's a runner at third. Forsythe on at second. Headley at first. force in the tying run. And it's 3-3. Hit by the 0-2 pitch. Maven scores, and it's tied. And now Guzman comes up.
Hard in, not a bad idea. I talked about Carlos Quinn's ability to hit the ball the other way. So they're trying to just take one shot in there, either to jam him, pop him up with a fastball, or to set up something away. And the last thing you want to do is make a mistake out over the plate with that fastball. And it's just another bit of misfortune. Now, obviously not the exact pitch he wanted to make. Quentin just standing there and taking one for the club.
Guzman foul tips that one. There's strike one. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. He's the 7th Padre to bat here in the 9th inning. Bud Black has pulled out all the strings, and he has used everybody on his bench in this game now.
Well, Brad Mills probably had the sense that he was getting away with some kind of a crime, having a chance to win 2 games with a grand total of 5 hits, and he almost did, and they still might win this game, but they're going to need to do a little more hitting.
Lee, Bogusevic, and Johnson due up in the Houston 9th. High heat. Guzman whiffs. 2 outs.
Over anxious. The veteran taking advantage of the youngster.
Now Alexi Amarista came in to pinch run for Alonso in the 8th and stayed in to play center field. Carries a .222 average. He has 72 at bats. He's driven in 4. And there's strike one. Dale Thayer and Houston Street are warming up for the Padres. Amarista is listed at 5'7". Jose Altuve said he's not 5'7". He said, I've played winter ball with him. He's not any taller than I am. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good little player. He made a sparkling play at shortstop the other night.
Did he ever.
He is like a water bug. He really darts around way up, and it's 2-1. Amarista formerly with the Angels. Yeah, they're good buddies. And they're both Venezuelans. Amarista 23. Padres got him in a trade earlier this year for reliever Ernesto Friere, who's been lighting it up for the Angels. He hits this one deep to right field. Bogusevic way back. Amarista has hit a grand slam. Alexi Amarista with his first major league homer, and it's a grand slam.
Wow. Wow.
7-3 Padres.
First major league home run, a grand slam in the top half of the 9th.
What a shock.
Cleared the hips on a slider that was moving down and in, and got just enough of it.
And now Brad Mills is coming out. First career home run, and what a spot.
I mean, you know, it's not like they have a lot of thunder in that lineup, but clearly there's about 14 other candidates you would think would hit that ball out on Myers ahead of Amarista, probably including a couple of their pitchers.
San Diego 7, Houston 3 in the 9th. Back in a moment. inning, and they lead at 7-3 on the grand slam by Alexei Amarista, and that led to the exit of Brad Myers. Now it is Xavier Cedeno, pitcher number 6, coming in without any decisions, an ERA of 3.00, and he picked up his first major league save.
And it was in that game we referred to earlier, the other game in this homestand where Myers got knocked around by the Royals for 5 runs in the 9th inning, and Cedeno had to come in and finish the ball game under a lot of duress for a young pitcher. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Got a meek pop-up to finish things off.
That was his first professional save. Now it's 7-3, and it's Cabrera, the 9th Padre to bat here in the 9th inning. He pops it up. Chris Johnson over for it to put it away, and the Padres roar from behind. They get an opening, and they lead it now 7-3. Great time as far as the Padres are concerned for his first major league homer to snap the 3-3 tie with a grand slam. He now has moved from center field to left field. Cameron Maben is the center fielder, and we have a new right fielder as well, Will Venable in right. Houston Street is 1-0, and he's 11 for 11 in saves.
Well, if the Padres can get 6, the Astros can get 5. Chances that they do it? 2%. Well, that's why we play the game, though.
Yeah, Street's been very good. He's walked only 6. And he's spent some time on the disabled list, but he's been in there in a save situation. He's converted every time this year. Been pretty reliable throughout his career. Brett Myers in 2/3 of an inning. As you see, Venable on right, joining the other outfielders. Myers, 2/3 of an inning, allowed 4 hits, 6 runs, 1 earned, no walks, 1 strikeout. Had a hit batter. And now Street is not in a safe situation. He has a 4-run lead, 7-3, with Carlos Lee batting. He's 1 for 3. Nick Vincent can be the winning pitcher. There's ball 1. Street was on the DL. He left the game in early May with a strained right lat and went on the disabled list and was out for a month. Came back June 5th. Now he'll be visited by his battery mate, Hundley, or Baker rather. Hundley started the game. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Bud Black, who was hoping that Cashner would get a win. Cashner took a no-hitter, 1 out into the 7th inning, then fell behind 2-1, and then he has used all of his position players, but he has a 4-run lead now. And it's caught by the second Sacker Forsythe, 1 out. And the Padres, who had that stat of not having won when trailing after 8 innings, something like 118 games in a row. Well, now they might break that. One out, and it's Bogusevic. Gave the Astros a 2-1 lead with that 2-run homer in the 7th. He's 1 for 3. At strike one. Goal to the first sacker. Guzman takes care of out number 2. And it's Chris Johnson batting. He's 0 for 3. Bud Black really saw his players come through for him there in the 9th inning with pinch hits by Baker and Kotze. And it really hurt when Quentin was hit by that 0-2 pitch.
Just a series of unfortunate events, to borrow from literature, but the error, that little flare at the bat of Headley.
Yeah.
And then the 0-2 hit by pitch, all conspiring against Myers. Obviously he wasn't at his best, but certainly could have gotten out of it.
No balls, 2 strikes.
This is a tough AB for CJ right now, because his head is just spinning after that error.
One and 2. Padres trying to gain a split of this 4-game series. Move on to Colorado next. Bud Black's team 11-25 on the road. It's 2-2. Padres have the edge in hits now in this game, 9-3. Both errors committed by Chris Johnson. 9 left by San Diego, 2 by Houston. And that's into the seats.
Nope, we will not be able to moan about missed opportunities. Cashner did not give the Astros many opportunities.
No, he really didn't. He was sensational tonight. 98.
I guess if there's any justice in all of this, it's that he didn't get saddled with a loss, because he was outstanding.
3-2 now. Padres have won 7 times in their final at bat this year. And Street gets the final 3 outs to lead the Padres to a Game 4 win and a split of this 4-game series. Bud Black made some very astute decisions on pinch hitters who made him look good by coming through. Cashner had a very strong outing tonight. And the little guy, Alexi Amarista, snapped the tie with a grand slam for his first Major League homer. Padres 7, Astros 3 tonight.